This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Nagalakshmi, second year PG from Department of Radiology. Today, going to discuss about trachea, bronchi, and bronchopulmonary segments. I'm going to cover trachea, carina, lobar anatomy, major and minor accessory fissures, right main bronchus, left main bronchus, pulmonary segments, and bronchi. Coming to trachea. Trachea begins at the lower border of cricoid cartilage at the level of C6 vertebra. It extends to the carina at the level of sternal angle, that is at T5 level. Trachea bifurcates into two main stem bronchi at the carina. It lies at the level of T5 vertebral level, and that is at the level of sternal angle. The normal carinal angle measures approximately 65 degrees, that is 20 degrees to the right and 40 degrees to the left. This angle is slightly larger in the children. The right tracheal margin, where the trachea is in contact with the lung, this is called the right paratracheal stripe. Widening of the stripe occurs most commonly with the mediastinal lymphadenopathy, tracheal malignancy, mediastinal tumors, mediastinitis, and pleural effusion. This is the image radiograph showing right paratracheal stripe. Coming to left paratracheal line, it is not visualized because the left border of the trachea lies adjacent to the great vessels. Coming to lobar anatomy, the lobes of the lung are separated by fissures. The fissure is formed by the two adjacent visceral pleura. Both oblique fissures commence posteriorly at the level of T5 or T4, passing through the hilum. The left oblique fissure is steeper and finishes 5 centimeters behind the anterior CP angle, whereas the right oblique fissure ends just behind the anterior CP angle. In the right lung, the major fissure separates the right upper lobe and the right middle lobe from the right lower lobe. On the left, the major fissure separates the left upper lobe from the lower lobe. The major, also called as oblique fissure, is not visible on the normal front projection because it is not parallel to the X-ray beam. So the lateral projection is done. The minor fissure runs from the hilum to the region of 6th rib in the axillary line. The minor fissure separates the right middle lobe from the right upper lobe. This fissure should be visible in frontal and lateral views. On CT, the major fissure is seen in axial and the sagittal planes. The minor fissure is seen in the sagittal and coronal planes. This is an image showing left lung, and this is the left major fissure or oblique fissure. These are the CT axial sections. This image is at above the level of hilum, and this is at below the level of hilum. These are the oblique fissures of this is of right lung and this is of left lung. These are also the CT axial sections. This is at the level of base of heart, and this is at the level of hilum. These are the oblique fissures on both sides. These are the sagittal sections of CT, showing this is of right lung and this is of left lung. This is the oblique fissure of right lung and this is the horizontal fissure, whereas this is the oblique fissure of left lung. Horizontal fissure is absent on left lung. In left lung, the parasagittal this is the image of left lung parasagittal section, CT image, showing the major fissure as that of previous image. This is the right lung minor fissure in coronal view. These are CT axial sections, and this is the coronal section, showing this is an accessory fissure, that is azygous fissure, separating the azygous lobe from the right lung. The azygous fissure is formed by anomalous development of astragus vein. The vein migrates through the medial right upper lobe, dragging the visceral and parietal pleura with it. The astragus lobe is separated from the rest of the upper lobe by astragus fissure. The superior accessory fissure separates the superior from the basal segments of the lower lobe. It is common on right side and has incidence of 5%. The inferior accessory fissure appears as an oblique fissure running cranially from the cardiophrenic angle towards the hilum, separating the medial basal segment from the rest of the other basal segments. It is also common on right side and has an incidence of 5 to 8%. The left side horizontal fissure separates the lingula from the other upper lobe segments if present. Coming to right main bronchus, also called as epiarterial bronchus. This right main bronchus lies at about 25 degrees to the median plane. It is 2.5 centimeters long and 1.5 centimeters wide. It is wider, shorter, and more vertical than the left main bronchus. This right main bronchus, it is also called epiarterial bronchus because the right main bronchus lies on the right pulmonary artery. Left main bronchus called as hyparterial bronchus because the left main bronchus lies below the left main pulmonary artery. This is an image showing the trachea and the right main bronchus and the left main bronchus from the frontal view. This is from the posterior view. Here we can see that right main bronchus is above the pulmonary artery, whereas the left main bronchus is below the pulmonary artery. That's why they are called epiarterial bronchus and hyparterial bronchus respectively. The bronchus to the upper lobe arises almost immediately after the tracheal bifurcation on right side and enters the hilum of the lung separately and dividing into anterior segmental bronchus, apical segmental bronchus, and posterior segmental bronchus. The right main bronchus then continues as the bronchus intermedius, which then divides into middle lobe bronchus and lower lobe bronchus. The middle lobe bronchus divides into medial and lateral segmental bronchus. The right lower lobe bronchus divides into superior basal segmental bronchus, anterior basal segmental bronchus, posterior basal segmental bronchus, medial basal segmental bronchus, and lateral basal segmental bronchus. Coming to left main bronchus or hyparterial bronchus, this left main bronchus lies at 40 degrees to the median plane, and it is 5 centimeters long and 1.2 centimeters diameter. The left main bronchus divides into upper and lower bronchi within the lung. The upper lobe bronchi divides into apico-posterior segmental bronchus, anterior segmental bronchus, and lingular lobe bronchus comes off from the upper lobe bronchus and has the superior lingular segment bronchus and inferior lingular segmental bronchus. The left lower lobe bronchus divides into superior segmental bronchus, lateral basal segmental bronchus, anterior basal segmental bronchus, and posterior basal segmental bronchus. The segmental bronchi divides between 8 to 22 times before becoming bronchioles, with the terminal bronchioles measuring 0.2 mm in diameter. Each terminal bronchiole then divides into 2 to 3 respiratory bronchioles, which connect with 2 to 11 alveolar ducts. Each alveolar duct receives 2 to 6 alveolar sacs, which are connected to alveoli, and the SNS generally considered to be the functional unit of lung. SNS is the portion of the lung arising from the terminal bronchiole. The SNS is generally considered to be the smallest functional unit of lung. The primary lobule arises from the respiratory bronchiole. The secondary lobule is between 1 centimeter and 2.5 centimeters in size and contains 2 to 5 SNA grouped to form the secondary pulmonary lobule separated by the septa. Coming to pores of cone, these are the openings in the alveolar walls connecting adjacent alveolar lumens. And canals of Lambert, these are the connections between the terminal bronchioles and adjacent alveoli. This is an image showing pores of cone connecting the adjacent alveolar lumens. Coming to bronchopulmonary segments, each lobe is divided into several bronchopulmonary segments, each of which is supplied by segmental bronchus, artery, and vein. Each segment takes its title from that of its supplying bronchus. This is an image showing upper lobe and the middle lobe bronchus, middle lobe segments, sorry. And here it's showing inferior lobe segments. And this is the image showing upper lobe, middle lobe, and lower lobe segments. This is the apical segment. This is the posterior segment. This is the anterior segment of right upper lobe. And this is the medial segment. And this is the lateral segment of right middle lobe. And these are the superior segment, medial, anterior, lateral, and the posterior segments of right lower lobe. This is coming to left lung. This is the apical segment of left upper lobe, and this is the superior segment and medial, anterior, and the posterior segments of left lower lobe, and this is the inferior lingular segment, and this is the posterior segment of left upper lobe. Coming to clinical importance, segmental resection or segmentectomy. Single infected segment can be surgically removed, and bronchoscopy and the removal of foreign body. Yes, the class is over. Thank you. Anyone who are still coming in can come in. లేదు వస్తున్నారు ఇంకా అటెండెన్స్ పోతుంది ఒక 5 minutes